Okay, hi everyone. My name is Jeremy Wales. These are my teammates Grainne, Tynan and Stephanie Fye, and we've been working on a project called CrowdArt. And CrowdArt is a public online platform for the commissioning of public art in Dublin. So when we started this project, we kind of asked ourselves, why is some artwork more engaging than others? I'm sure some of you have travelled around in cities and you've seen works in these places, and some of them seem really iconic. They really seem to encapsulate or embrace the creativity of the city and capture people's imaginations. And we thought, like, why isn't art more like this? And does it happen by accident? And maybe could we actually make it so that it happens by design? You know, does it have to be a fluke? So we looked at Dublin. The Spire, for example, it celebrates its 10th birthday next month. Do Dubliners love it? I don't know. And take its precedent, the floozy and the jacuzzi. It was only there for about 12 years. It was a philanthropic gift by the Smurfits to the city. It's a fantastic gesture, but it only lasted 12 years. It's moved somewhere else. So why does this happen? Why are we putting things in the city that maybe people aren't really engaged with? We did a survey in Dublin 8. This map shows some of the works, and we spoke to some of the resident citizens, and they weren't particularly aware of any artworks in the area, and they didn't find them maybe very engaging. And so as we kind of felt that the main issues about making engaging art is actually the commissioning process. And we felt that, I know there's a lot of bullet points here, but effectively in 2012, where we are now, we feel that it's top down, it's exclusive, there are closed competitions, there's ineffective consultations, there's few funding streams, and it's difficult for communities themselves to commission works. What we'd like in 2022, in 10 years' time, that it's bottom up, it's more grassroots level, that it's more inclusive, that there's more open competitions, there's more effective consultation with everybody. There's extra funding streams, it's not just local authorities giving money. And it's easy for communities themselves to commission works. And basically we're saying that the location, the type of art, the artist, the jury, the commissioning process, everything would all be crowdsourced in as much as possible. So that's CrowdArt, that's what this project is. It's an online platform for commissioning public art in Dublin 8. So we're matching communities, artists and funding. And this is just an infographic of our website in the centre there. So what it essentially does is you pitch an idea, you propose an idea for an artwork in the city, then it goes to a discussion forum, people discuss the idea, they like it, they don't like it, they refer to other projects. People then can propose it. Once it's got more meat, they can say, I think it should be located here, maybe we should get this type of artist to do it. Then the fourth stage is actually applying for funding, and then the fifth stage is where you actually implement it and create the artwork. And sure, there are similar websites out there that maybe you've heard of, like Kickstarter, Funded, Spacehive, etc. But I suppose those projects, you go to those websites when your project is actually designed and finished. All you're looking at that stage is funding, and they're just crowdfunding websites. What's different about our site is that we start the discussions, we start the ideas, we get the locations, we get the artists, so you get a momentum, you get people behind it, and you get a body of mass and opinion that say, we want this, and it's only at the very end, then when you go to crowdfund it. So just in a few simple steps, this website, there's 5 kind of areas in it. The main area here, this is where you input your idea in this blue box, and this is where you just give a short description of your idea. To the left there's a discussion board, kind of like boards.ie, and this is where ideas are kind of discussed. Then you can browse by map, you can click on it and see artworks in an area. You can browse by artists who've registered with this site, and finally browse by projects that are looking for funding. So let's just pretend we clicked on that browse by map. So here you click on this map and there's various different pins of different colors. You can click on a pin and it shows you an image of the artwork, if it's existing, the sculptor's name, when it was done, and discussion threads. Green pin shows artworks, sorry, that was the completed one. The red one is artworks that are seeking funding. So here you're allowed to crowdfund. You click on this and say, hey, I like this artwork, it's near my street, I'd like to give money to it. And B is actually, the blue section is where there's art under discussion. You click on that and this brings you up areas where you can actively engage in dialogue about an artwork. So back to the homepage again, if we clicked on artists, these are artists who've registered with this site. They're saying, hey, I've got an artwork, maybe this community would like to purchase my artwork. Or it's also for communities to say, hey, look, we like this person's artwork, can we commission this person? Back to the homepage again, those discussion threads. So we've got lots of discussions here. We've got one here. Some people want a sculpture of Arthur Guinness on Thomas Street. So if you click on that thread, you open it up and you find there's 55 neighbours who like this sculpture. You can join this group using social media. You can get feedback or email notifications, Twitter, etc. And from there, hopefully with time, maybe in a few weeks or a few months, it goes on to a certain stage where there's maybe a project champion or committee, and they say, okay, let's go ahead and let's do it. We want to get €15,000 for this. You can vote as to how much this artwork should cost, and then afterwards artists can register their interest. On the bottom you can see there's 4 tablets there, and artists can say, yes, I will do this work for €15,000, and the communities can say, yes, I like this artist or not. And then finally, then this is the crowdfunding bit. So here there's a visual art festival, and then here's a community. They've got the project champions, they've got the committee, they've got all the regulatory procedures in place. All they've got to do is fund it. What's different to this as well is you can volunteer. You can give money, sure, but you can also volunteer your time, you can volunteer your materials. So it's a much more open process. So that's it, that's CrowdArt. It's an online platform for commissioning public art in Dublin 8. It's about matching communities, artists and funding. And to conclude, this is a social enterprise. It's not for profit. It would be moderated by volunteers. Our next steps would be to develop the website. We just had a wireframe there, as you may have guessed. We want to liaise with Dublin City Council Arts Office and the Arts Council, and we want to grow the project. This is CrowdArt. Maybe there could be crowd sport, crowd space, crowd garden, crowd everything in the city. So that's it. More iconic work that people love in the city.